You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
That's right, you are. And I'm broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios, brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. It's time for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Did you know that the top reason renters do not renew their leases is not because of rent increases? The biggest complaint among renters and the most important gauge of renter satisfaction is how the management responds to maintenance requests. Responding to maintenance calls quickly and effectively makes for happy residents. Happy residents make for reduced turnover. Reduced turnover makes for better cash flow. That's just one of the hundreds, thousands of things you can learn from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the best, most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. MHA holds 135 different classes each year for owners and on-site staff, including in-depth certification courses for maintenance and management professionals. In fact, the most widely recognized certifications for apartment industry professionals across the United States were designed right here in Minnesota by MHA. Find out more by visiting mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com.
What we're talking about here as we wrap up the show today about FHA, and it appears we've been talking about the restriction that they've wanted to put on, new regulation as of about a month and a half ago, that states that if you have in your governing documents a provision that says that you want to prevent homeowners from being able to lease or rent out their unit for 30 days or less because it's more transient in nature with people coming and going, FHA said you can't do it because they believe it's discriminatory. Now, we don't know who it is from FHA that seem to find it discriminatory. We don't know. We know a little bit what their thinking was, and they thought it was because in 1994, there was the National Housing Act. The National Housing Act of 1994 basically said that people need to be more cognizant and more aware of trying to provide low-income housing for folks. And for some reason, FHA, someone got in their mind that the more transient nature of renting out a place for 30 days a month, for 1 month at a time or for 1 week at a time, 2 weeks, is more affordable. And I think it's just the opposite. When you find people that want to rent something out for 1 week or for 2 weeks, if you ask me, people are paying a premium, not less money. And I don't see this as something that is hurting or discriminatory to low-income people at all. I think it's a non-issue, but someone in their mind at FHA thinks so. But FHA came out. It said as of July 23rd, it says the Federal Housing Administration has announced their limited flexibility. Well, what is their limited flexibility? Well, it says under FHA's new policy, prohibitions on transient leasing are offered if you comply with one of these two options. So once again, we have our government that's being benevolent, saying we'll relent. We're not going to say that we're sorry. We're not going to say that we're wrong, because heaven forbid we ever say that we make a mistake. But you know what? Looking back, we will allow it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, FHA. Thank you, government, that you're going to allow this to happen. But what are those two options? Number one, it says the association may amend its governing documents that would remove bank-owned properties exemptions from transient leasing prohibition. So in other words, you can, if you amend your governing documents to say that you can't, nobody can provide 30-day leasing options or less other than bank-owned property. So in other words, we're carving something out for the big banks. And so who's behind this? Tell me this is for low-income housing? Is this an altruistic reason? To me, it seems like there is something that is being done, a special dispensation given to big banks here. Well, if you change your governing documents, spend thousands of dollars and amend them so that you can continue to not allow 30-day transient leasing from your owners, that's okay, but you've got to put something that says that big banks, that bank-owned properties will be exempted from that. Then we'll give you FHA financing. What's the other option? Oh, they said, well, if the association board provides a dated and signed statement on the association letterhead. I'll tell you, most homeowner associations don't have letterhead. They don't. It's a corporation, but they don't have necessarily a icon or a brand like a lot of businesses do. But if on the association letterhead affirming, and if you would write this, that affirming that no units within the condominium project are leased for a term of less than 30 days and tenants are not provided services commonly associated with a hotel. What? So you are going to be released from this other, you're going to be exempt. FHA is going to allow you to keep this in, but you're going to have to write a special letter on association letterhead saying that the association is not allowing 30-day or less leases because because nobody's providing the same services that you normally associate with a hotel. What does that have to do with the price of oranges? This makes no sense at all. But somehow, and I'm sure a lot of associations will say, well, that's fine. But there's a part of me that's still bothered by this. Aren't you bothered by the fact that our government can't say, we made a mistake, we're just going to take care of it? No, they're just going to say, we're going to allow it, but you're going to have to still do a few things. We still want you to jump through a few hoops. I mean, to me, what is really bothersome is that this is still an issue. And at the heart of this is that we're talking about the government wants to interfere into legal private contracts of its citizens, because that's what you have with a homeowners association. If you have a 60-unit HOA, you have 60 homeowners who have contracted together and have a private contract and agreement in the governing documents of the association and how they're going to act and relate to one another, what they will be responsible for collectively. But now we have the government says, you know what? You can't do that on your own. We need to tell you what you can have in there and what you can't have in there. I'm glad there's a way around this, that people will still be able to get FHA financing, but some of it still doesn't smell right for me, because what the government gives, the government can take away later. Well, that's all the time we have, folks, for today's show. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Look forward to seeing you here next Saturday on Where You Live.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.